Mahindra. They are considered to be the default, the go-to Indian manufacturer when it comes to big brownie SUVs. But this reputation hasn't been the same when it comes to their compact cars. But in 2019, one compact car was launched which has changed that just a little bit. No, I'm not talking about the TUV or the KUV, but this, the baby XUV. So, hey guys, what's up? I'm Srinikeet. You're watching my Just Free Productions, and today let's check out the BS6 2020 Mahindra XUV 300 or the 300, whatever you want to call it, petrol. Let's get started.
I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you.
Design of the XUV is typical sub 4 meter SUV. The front end is muscular with a high hood, a Mahindra logo and a grille dominating the front fascia and the DRL, which has been inspired from a Cadillac. Side profile has those pronounced wheel arches which are filled nicely with those massive 17-inch alloys with diamond cut pattern. The roofline will remind you of the first gen Creta for sure. The rear end though is a different story. As the 300 is based on a 4+ meter SsangYong SUV, in order to reduce its length to under 4 meters, Mahindra had to shorten the wheelbase as well as the rear overhang, which has given this rear end a squashed look. The tail lamp has really nice detailing with LED surrounds, but the proportions just ain't right for the rear design to look good. In all, I think the 300 is possibly one of the best looking SUVs in this segment, except the EcoSport, and the Nexon, and the Venue.
When it comes to the interiors, the 300 does not disappoint at all because the quality of the interior and the fit and finish is on par with the competition and arguably better than some of its rivals. It gets some nice looking metal finish inserts on the central console as well as on the steering wheel. And some of the features which are unheard in this price range, let alone in the segment, which is dual zone climate control up front and also a variable rate steering wheel. The list of features goes on and on, which are:
it gets dual zone automatic climate control, engine start stop system, a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment display with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a sunroof, auto dimming inside rear view mirror, electronically foldable and adjustable outside rear view mirrors which are heated, again which is a first in the segment, and a variable rate steering wheel. Although one thing to note is that it does miss out on rear AC vents.
Talking about the safety features, the 300 gets a lot of safety equipment in the top end model. This is the W8 optional, of course. So it gets 7 airbags. Now that's a serious number of airbags. You also get a knee airbag for the driver, which is impressive and again unheard of in this segment. And again, this list of features is very long, so here it is.
Other than the 7 airbags, it comes with ABS, EBD and ESP, front parking sensors, a rear camera with adaptive guidelines and 4-wheel discs along with a tire pressure monitoring system.
Now let's jump into the back seat of the 300 to find out how it is. Now talking about the rear seat, the comfort levels are quite nice, although the rear under thigh support is quite lacking and the headroom as well. It's not as much as I expected for this tall boy SUV to be. That's because of the sunroof mechanism intruding into the headroom of the rear passengers. So the seat is quite comfortable with decent cushioning. It's not too soft, not too hard. The rear backrest is not reclinable, although you do get a central armrest and leather upholstery, of course. It's a 60-40 split and gets 3 adjustable headrests and a 3-point seat belts for all the 3 passengers at the rear as well. Now that's a great feature. And also the seatbelt warning light is also present for the rear passengers as well. That's a nice safety feature if you want to travel around with your kids back here. But despite the features list of this 300 being quite long, Mahindra I think has forgotten about the rear seat passengers because you do not get a rear AC vent. Now that's really shocking because nowadays cars which cost at least half as much as this car even get a rear AC vent. Other than that, the door cars are nice and simple. You get the speaker up here, piano black inserts on the armrest and also leather insert, of course, and down there is a 1-liter bottle holder as well. And one more interesting choice by Mahindra is the magazine holder design, because it's just some strings strapped to the rear of the front seat and most of the stuff can definitely slide through it. Overall, the rear seats are quite comfortable, but for shorter people because the under thigh support, again, as you can see, not as good as some of its rivals. Now let's check out the boot space of the 300 because that is one point which is a bit on the negative side of this 300. Now the XUV300 is based on a Korean SUV called the SsangYong Tivoli, which is actually above 4 meters. So in order to make the 300 fall under the sub 4 meter category, Mahindra had to compromise somewhere in order to shorten it overall length. So they did that by compromising on the boot space, because the rear end actually looks a bit squashed up. Then that's the reason why the XUV300 has the smallest boot capacity in the segment, which is only 257 liters, which is on an average smaller by around 100 liters compared to its competitors. Now that can be an issue for a lot of buyers who are potential buyers of the XUV300. But the rear seats are 60-40 split, so if you are carrying lesser passengers, you can fold the rear seats and increase the boot space. But again, in the stock configuration, it is not as practical as its rivals.
Driving the baby XUV, please excuse the voiceover as my mic started behaving awkwardly. Coming to the drive part, the petrol XUV is suited more for city. The 3-cylinder is refined and tractable with decent amount of bottom and top, but major chunk of power comes only after revving it past 2000 rpm. As past the 2k mark, the engine pulls strongly till close to the red line. Despite being a 1200cc 3-cylinder, it remains decently refined with little vibes on the steering and pedal assembly. One thing to note is that as you roll off the throttle, it still propels the car before cutting the power, although this delay is hardly for a second or two, but can be frightening for the first time driver. Talking about steering, interestingly it gets driving modes, namely comfort, normal and sport, and while they do make a difference in the weight and steering feel, a bit more heft, especially in the sport mode, would have been more appreciated. The clutch is light, as is the gearbox with slightly longer throws. In all, the driving experience is effortless with the driving controls. Braking is an area in which the XUV really shines as it gets discs at all 4 corners. As a result, the feel and feedback from the brake pedal is great with an impressive bite and stopping power as well. The sitting posture is comfortable with a decent view around the cabin with a high set dashboard. In terms of ride and handling, it tackles bad roads quite well, although with 17-inch alloys despite having thick 55 profile rubber does make it a bit firmer compared to other compact SUVs. The 300 then is more of a tarmac SUV or a crossover in simple terms, but having a 17-inch alloys with quite wide section tires does make it handle really well with not much body roll. In all, the petrol XUV is a really good city runabout which can do occasional highway duties. But if you want to use it frequently on the highways, I'll still prefer the diesel as it has quite a bit more grunt. As a package then, it really is an impressive SUV with a lot of safety features as well as creature comforts. Is the petrol W at top end really worth 14 lakh rupees on road then? That's something that you'll have to decide, as I think at that price the diesel is a better deal. So that's pretty much it from my side. Special thanks to Ratna Prabha Mahindra for providing me the baby XUV for review. Contact details for bookings and test drives are in the description down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as we are very close to hitting 5,000 subscribers on the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.